I've been getting a lot of questions like, so what kind of camera do you use? How do you edit your videos? What settings do you use? How do you color grade? So we're gonna unpack all that real quick. And for those who just pulling up, you probably just found this on YouTube, like trying to find out how to edit your videos. My name is Matt Keys. I'm a music producer. I play keys, violin, sound design, all that good jazz. I've been making content on my Instagram and TikTok for a few years now. By no means am I a videographer, a cinematographer, anything like that. I'm just a producer. I'm just a music creator who just kind of got really into this and figured out a way to create these videos for myself in a way that helps tell the story of the music. Just as much as I'm drawn to sound, I'm really drawn to visuals. I believe that good visuals paired with amazing sound can help tell this really beautiful narrative. In this age of social media, with us sharing so much of ourselves, sharing our music, we want to do it in creative and innovative ways that can cut through the noise. So in this video, I'll show you what camera I shoot with, my Adobe Premiere process, along with how I color grade my videos in VSCO. If you don't have a camera, I'll walk you through really quickly later on in the video, towards the end, how to shoot things with your phone. But this is primarily going to be focused on using a camera. So first and foremost, I shoot with the Sony a6400. Some of my basic settings include shooting 4K, 24 frames per second, and 24 frames per second just gives you that really nice cinematic feel to the video. And I try to keep my aperture fairly low. So you may see this number like 1.4, 2.6. I try to keep that number pretty low just to kind of get that nice blur in the background. So everything in your subject is in focus and then everything behind the subject is blurred out. It's called bokeh. The higher the number is, the more things are in focus, and you can experiment with that, because I feel like you can still get a nice blur in the background with a higher aperture. It's very possible. For lightings, I had a homie of mine ask me about lighting. I really just rely on natural lighting. I don't have anything special. Right now, I'm shooting at nighttime, and I got like these little smart bulbs right now I got from Amazon. Experiment with different colors, and it's kind of fun. You kind of create like a lot of different cool environments with the lights. So, but again, it's not like professional lighting or anything. These are literally just like Amazon light bulbs. Right now, I got them on like a natural setting right now. You know what I'm saying? So you just keep it simple. So for the actual lenses, I use a Sigma 16mm lens. I switch between that and a 35mm lens. Currently, I'm shooting with the 35mm lens. It's very close. Like my camera's a little further back, but the lens is very, very close. So the higher the number, the closer everything is. The lower the number, the further everything is. I also have these filters from this company called Prism Effects. I have a cinema hard stop filter, which kind of it can help amplify some of those shadows, and you can use it to adjust your lighting. And I'm also using this soft filter as well. So right now, I got both of those filters on right now. So you can kind of see how soft the footage looks right now. Those are both filters at work. And I'm able to stack them too. So you can screw them on top of each other. So you can just like layer a bunch of these together. All right, so that's that. Let's jump into Adobe Premiere. So here's a visual that my bro Hino and I made. We're gonna drop this record at some point. This is one of my favorite joints, man. It's crazy. Before we get into Adobe Premiere, I want to talk a little bit about the actual technique in which I shoot. 9 times out of 10, I'm shooting, the song is either fully finished or I'm working on a loop. I may play over certain parts. You may see me playing and it'll probably just be like one part of the song. I find that makes it really efficient. And then there are some times when I'm actually creating the whole entire song. That takes a little bit more work, but as of lately, my workflow's been just kind of pick a part, play the part, and then shoot that. So for the actual recording, I'll do multiple takes. I don't just do one take. So I'll do several takes in different angles. So like I'll put the camera in different parts of the room, experiment with different angles, different focal lengths, and just try to see what looks good. It's just kind of trial and error, honestly. And then when I get a place where I want it, I just press record and I just play the song the whole way through. You know what I'm saying? That way the audio picks up in the camera. So that way when I go and bring the audio into Premiere, I can match that audio with the actual MP3 or WAV file of the 2-track from the song that I'm making the video for. So that way everything lines up seamlessly. All right, so let's get into the actual editing. So one of the main things that I try to do, I try to cut to the beat or the tempo of the song. For example, here's the intro.
I done been through streets and them alleys where fiends needed badly. The peaks in the valley, creeped in and savvy. From the way I speak, so unique, even classy. I got that technique, seen a peep and say shower.
So for the intro, you kind of see how these different these different things are happening. Essentially, these are all just like the same clips, right? So all I'm doing, I'm just layering them, and then I'm changing the actual sizes of the clips using the scale tool. Really, it's just layering to the beat, just kind of like you would in Ableton or like you would in Logic. You line up your drums, like you line up your clips to make sure everything is, you know, on beat or whatever. So this is pretty much the same concept in a sense. One of the things that I do when I'm shooting, I try to get a wide shot, right? So like my wide shot is essentially the main shot, like everything, like you kind of see that whole thing like in frame, you know what I'm saying? You see the whole room, you see what's happening at a glance, you see everything, right? So I use that shot as like the home base. You can use that clip to kind of just stretch that throughout the whole entire song, right? And then that could be your video if you want it. But essentially what we're trying to do is we want to make the video more engaging. We want to throw these different shots and kind of make the song feel like, whoa, I'm looking forward to this song, or oh, this came out today, I want to go listen to it, I want to go play this. You know, that's what we want. You know, we want to get people excited about the music. The visuals should be just as engaging as the actual music. So yeah, I think of the wide shot as the home base. So I use that as like the baseline, and then I'll cut that, right? And then I'll layer on top of that with other angles and shots that I got. So that way I'll like cut to this clip, or I'll cut to this clip with like the side-by-side shot with us. I'll cut to these different clips and do that so much so that, all right, cool, we got enough of that. Let's come back to home base. You know what I'm saying? So you probably notice like this little slow zoom happening. So all that is it's very, very simple to do. All it is just this keyframe automation. Each clip, whenever you throw a clip into Premiere, your scale is automatically set to 100. So if you want to make that bigger, you can click that little timer icon, and then you can set a number to like 110 or 120, not too much because you don't want it to like be, you know, do a crazy zoom. It creates this really subtle zoom. Wifey always says the video needs to draw me in. So usually, to be quite honest with y'all, that's it. Now, I know you see these lyrics on here. Adobe has this really dope function where you can add captions. So it's not perfect, so you got to go in and tinker with it. Now, I'm not gonna go too in depth because it is a process, and there's a lot of other videos that can walk you through how to, you know, do your captions and everything. Just to kind of give you an overview, you will go to Window, and then you go to Text. And then text will have a section where you can create your captions, and then you would just go through that, and it can automatically capture your captions from like your audio. So if you got like a vocal track or whatever, if you have vocals in the actual mix in the 2-track, like it'll pick those vocals up. And then there's like a few settings there you can set. I usually set it to like single line, like 10 characters per like line or something like that. So that way there's like one word or one or two words that pop up from each lyric. So that kind of keeps it more engaging instead of having like these big long paragraphs, you know what I'm saying? And then once you add your captions, you can highlight them all. You can adjust like the actual styling of it, so you can make it look the way that you want it to look. Once I do all that, I'll export it. I have my own settings. One thing that I forgot to mention, when you're making the video here in the Premiere, you're gonna go to sequence settings, and you're just gonna make sure that your settings are for like a vertical video, right? So it's like 3840 by 2160, but for like TikTok and Instagram, we wanna do 2160 by 3840. So it's just literally flipping those numbers around. So once we go to export, some of the main things I make sure is that the file is always set to, some of the things that I always make sure is that we're always rendering with the best quality. So like, you know, rendering at maximum depth and all that good jazz. So you have those boxes selected. There's also a section for captions. So if you have captions in your videos, you can select this box right here to make sure that your captions are burned in the video. And you just go ahead and select where you want to save it at, name the file, go ahead, hit that export button, boom, you got a video. So now we didn't really color grade it. I find it easier to do it in VSCO, and not 9 times out of 10 it always looks good on VSCO. What I'll do at this point, I just airdrop it from my computer to my phone. Sorry, Windows, I have no idea how you do this, how you send a file from your phone from your computer to your phone like airdrop. I'm sure there's a way. They gotta have a way at this point. Microsoft type, don't get me wrong. I hope they got an airdrop feature. But anywho, this is what I do. I airdrop it to my phone. Got it. So now I'm gonna open my phone, right? we are going to jump into VSCO, and I already got that video uploaded here, so I'm gonna just go here, right? All right, so we're gonna hit that edit button right there, right? All right, so essentially what's gonna happen now is that we got all these different really dope effects on here, right? And it's just a matter of, you know, they're filters, you know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of like seeing what fits the vibe that you're looking for. If this is your first time using VSCO, then you would need to pay the $20 a year membership so you can edit videos. I think that price is still accurate. All right, so for me, I have like a bunch of presets already that I've created in this little, you know, preset button down here. I like this one. This is really clean, really natural. You can kind of tell the difference. It's a really light color grade. This one has a little bit more saturation, a little more contrast. This one's a little bit more cooler, you know what I'm saying? You can kind of see how the blue's a little bit more defined here. I like to turn my exposure down, just kind of give it a little bit more of a darker feel. Contrast, I may turn it up just a little bit, just kind of make that skin pop, you know what I'm saying? Sharpen, I don't do it too much because too much can, like, you know, distort your picture. So I just do it enough just to like make sure that it like really cuts through, you know what I'm saying? Saturation, not too much again. You don't want to bleed out your colors. Things kind of start to look more orange, and a little bit goes a long way. And highlights, I try to turn the highlights up just to kind of capture some of those bright spots in there. I don't really touch the shadows. I like the shadows where they are, because if you move the shadows, it's gonna get a little ashy looking. Temperature, depending on the feel of the video, like right now, it's a really warm video, so I might turn the temperature up just a little bit, just kind of give it some warmth. I ain't gonna hold you. This is kind of busting as it is. That's really it, y'all. This is really it. We keep it simple over here. Just hit that next button and you say to the camera. Essentially, that's it. Oh, I forgot to tell you about how to shoot on your phone. So essentially, if I were to shoot on my phone, which I still do from time to time, I want to go to my camera settings, and you can see where it says record video, right? I'm gonna click that, and then I'm gonna do 4K at 24 frames per second. And for editing, if you have a subscription to Adobe to Create a Cloud, you have access to Premiere Rush. If not Premiere Rush, you can use CapCut, and CapCut is very, very, you know, straightforward. You know, once you export the video there, you'll be able to run it through VSCO. I think that's it, y'all. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in, for watching. If y'all got any questions, hit me up, leave a comment, send me a DM, whatever. I'm here, you know, here to answer any questions, here to be a resource, here to be a guide in the best way that I can. So yeah, appreciate y'all. Big love.